How are you viewing this move from Durant?
Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar. Plain and simple. That's just how I look at it. It's not that he's leaving Oklahoma City. If you're not happy there and you want to move on and you want to grow as a player, there's nothing wrong with that. He's one of the top 3 players in the world. He's a quintessential superstar. He deserves all the credit in the world for the talent that he possesses. But the flip side is this. They were up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals. Not 1, not 2, but 3 different times. He was 48 minutes removed from getting to the NBA Finals by winning the Western Conference. 3 times he failed, particularly in Game 6. And you depart for the team that beat you when you're on the cusp of getting to the finals yourself or ultimately winning the championship for the franchise that you've been with since you've come into the NBA, I think it's incredibly weak. And I don't want to hear any comparisons to that of LeBron James when LeBron James left Cleveland for South Beach. When LeBron left Cleveland, the cupboard was bare. He was basically the only dude in Cleveland. It was LeBron James and a bunch of no-names. In the case of Kevin Durant, you have one of the top 5 players in the world as your teammate. You've got Billy Donovan, who's proven to be an exceptional coach. You've got a coaching staff. You've got a first-class organization. You've got Enes Kanter, Steven Adams, and all of these boys. You are legitimately a championship contender. You are the difference. You are the superstar, and you depart for the team that beat you, that's the 2-time reigning defending Western Conference champions, who's won a championship in the last 2 years. You're jumping on a bandwagon as far as I'm concerned. That's just the way that I look at it. I don't think there's any way to deny that. All the reporters, whether it's Ramona, it's Chris Broussard, everybody doing an exceptional job, pointing out the things that they point out. I don't disagree with anything anybody is saying. But in the end, what it comes down to is that Kevin Durant is one of the top 3 players in the world, and he ran away from the challenge that he faces in order to jump on the bandwagon of a team that's a little bit better, that's already rife with at least one superstar, a couple of guys that can really, really get it done. I just view it as him jumping on the bandwagon, and I think it's the weakest move I've ever seen by a superstar, plain and simple.
It's your boy Cool JC for Trap News Sports. Now, what you just heard there in that video clip was Stephen A. Smith going off on Kevin Durant from leaving the Oklahoma City Thunder to join the Golden State Warriors. I think he deserved that because that was a sucker move, man. Here it is. You had Golden State on the ropes, 3-1. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had them 3-1. And y'all managed to let them come back and take that series and causing y'all a trip to the NBA Finals. And then in the offseason, you joined a team that came back from 3-1 to put your team out of the playoffs. That was a sucker move, man. That's the only way I can look at it. And I'm tired of these NBA players, man. They being friendly with each other. There's no more rivalries like the Jordan, the Bird, and the Magic era. And I don't want to sound like I'm old, man, by going back into that time. But a lot of these basketball players, man, they're too friendly with each other. There's no more competition, man. Everybody want to be everybody buddy. Everybody want to take a vacation together. Come on. Where's the rivalry at? LeBron did it. But to me, when LeBron did it, it was different. He was the only player in Cleveland playing with a bunch of scrubs. So I can't really knock LeBron so much for doing that. But then again, you see he came back and delivered on his promise, bringing Cleveland a championship. But like I say, man, KD, I'm not knocking you, man. You can go wherever you want to go, man, but you're going to Golden State, man. Come on, man. And now you leave Westbrook, who's another top 5, all-star, a top 5 player in the NBA. You leave him, man, out there by himself. But the way I look at it now, I really believe that he knew Westbrook wasn't going to sign with Oklahoma City after next year in free agent. You know what I mean? Because Westbrook, he leaves after his contract is up next year. So that brings me to believe that Westbrook wasn't going to stay out there in Oklahoma City. But man, like I said, man, it's crazy, man. These players need to get a backbone, man. Stop all this friendly stuff. You're supposed to be a rival. it's supposed to be a rivalry in the NBA, man. It's not that anymore. So, like I said, man, that's my rap. Cool JC. Peace.